Welcome. You are about to receive extremely valuable information.
Hello, my name is Andrea Schmitz and I send you greetings from Germany. You're catching us right in the middle of our three-part series about why you cannot trust your real estate agent when you're buying a house. In the previous video, we talked about the beginning stage where everybody seems to be on the same page, the buyer and the real estate agent. And now we're moving into the transition of putting in an offer for a house that you like and how you can understand this process of when the real estate agent is no longer on your page, but is starting to think for themselves, looking out for their interests and not your own interests. So that's where we are today. Before we move into that, I'll be giving you some quotes, what you might hear from your real estate agent and what you know should set off some bells ringing. But before we get into that, I just want to give you the disclaimer. I'm not a financial expert. I am not a real estate agent. I've never bought real estate in North America. As I've said in my previous videos, I'd like to move to Canada, and that's the reason why I'm doing this research. And that is also the reason why I'm doing these videos, because if you're living in North America and you've bought a house, you're going to be able to give me your questions, and that's going to push my research further because I'm 40 years old, as you can see. I have 5 children. Moving to Canada is in a year's time is a very, very scary prospect. We want to buy a house and we have no idea what we're doing. So living through your experiences, hearing your feedback, and hearing your questions, which drives me to research further, is optimal. And so I think it's a win-win situation for everybody. So I want to encourage you to write your questions down or give me your testimonies, your stories, what have you gone through? Let's move into the topic today. Thinking about putting in an offer. When you've reached this stage in real estate, buying a house, right? My advice to you is don't trust anyone. And have your ears wide open, listening. And I'll tell you why. Okay? The point is that when a buyer submits an offer on a house, it's at a time when a lot of home buyers, and especially if you're the first time buying your home, they feel out of their element. You kind of feel, we're talking like $150,000 or even more, right? That tends to make people feel uncomfortable, and it's not the type, I don't deal with that kind of money on a daily basis. Maybe you do, but most of us don't. So you feel uneasy. And this is the worst thing you can do, is to ask your agent for advice in this point. And I'll explain it to you why. Your agent gets paid when the deal gets done, and only when it's done. Remember that. So this is a time when the knowledge of the real estate market should be a big help in determining how much negotiating should be done. All right. As well, if the buyer is not in a hurry, right? If you're in that lucky position to not have to move in right yesterday, right? If you're not in a hurry to buy, that sets up a great negotiating opportunity. However, if there is one thing that real estate agents don't like, it's clients who negotiate hard. Why? Well, because the only way to negotiate properly in a deal is to be able to walk away if the price that you're looking for isn't met. To be so cool, right? To be so in charge of the situation, really. The way an agent sees this type of situation is if that a deal falls through, then they have to spend a lot more time looking at houses before they get paid. So it goes back to the hourly rate that I mentioned in the last video. Things that your agent might say and you should ignore, and it should set off bells ringing in your head when you're about to put your bid in, are the following. And this is where you're going to want to write this down in your cheat sheet, or if you follow the link that's attached to this video, to the Weebly or website, or whatever website this gets directed to, I'll have this written down for you, or a link to the actual article. All right. This could be something that your real estate agent tells you, okay? And the bells should be ringing when you hear it. Oh, don't bid too low or you'll offend the sellers. Let me tell you this, that's garbage. If the sellers can't handle a lowball bid, then they are unrealistic. And what exactly is a bid that is too low? Anyway, can you define that? I'm not saying to put in an unrealistic bid like 50% or whatever, but don't be afraid to start lower and work your way up. As I mentioned before, it's important to know the market so that you don't have to rely on the asking price or your agent to tell you the proper market value of the house. So you're going to have to do some research yourself. You're going to have a bit of a knowledge of the area yourself. All right. Next thing, if your real estate agent says this, just get those bells, whistles, everything going off in your mind. Wait a minute. Think about it. Don't bid too low, or you might offend the selling agent, and I might have to work with them in the future. So, what are you hearing now? Is the real estate agent dealing with your best interests or with his own? All right. I don't think we need to comment on that any further. All right. Here's the next scare tactic, and it's called you should get a bid in quickly before someone else puts a bid in. And this is a favorite of many agents because it creates a sense of false urgency, and we see it everywhere where anything is being sold. And it's to get the deal in motion and get it done as soon as possible. And sometimes this is good advice, but on other times, such as when a house has been sitting on the market for a month or longer, this is just not appropriate. It's a scare tactic. So if you understand how long a house has been on the market, these are all the kinds of things you want to figure out before you put in your bid, then you're ready and you're in a better position to deal with these kind of statements that might come from your sales agent. So, and this is the last thing that's going to send off whistles in your head, all right? And it's very similar to the previous point that we just said, is someone else is looking at the house later today and they're really interested. When I get this sales pitch, I don't care what it is. If it's lawnmowers, shampoos, or the best place to spend your vacation, or buying a car, or whatever, this is like, for me, almost the sheer bet that I'm not going to buy the house. Not because I'm resigned and I think that someone else is going to buy it before me, but I say, you know what? If you can sell that house before I make my offer, good for you. That's what you're in the game for. All right, so this is a lie, usually, which originates from the selling agent, usually, but a smart buying agent will tend to play along because it will increase the chance of the buyer putting in an offer today. So basically, it's just giving you pressure. Do you know what? If the person is really interested this afternoon and they put in an offer, you do not know what that offer is, and there's no reason you can't put an offer in yourself a day later or 2 days later. Do you think people sell their house within 24 hours and everything's done? No. People are out there looking for what's happening. And you know what? Even if someone else puts in an offer which is higher than yours, and generally you would say it's going to be taken, the seller's going to take the higher offer, that person still has not signed over that money. Has not flowed. Anything could happen to bust that deal. So you take your time and think about the house. Don't allow yourself to be forced into an offer. So we have one more video coming in this series of why you can't trust your real estate agent. Thank you for following me today. We've done the putting in your bid offer, right? So if you have any questions, or if you've actually been through this process and you say, oh yeah, or if you've got another example of what people should be paying attention to, please leave your comments with this video, because that's important feedback, and I can take that, find more research, and give it to you again in another video. So keep your eyes peeled. Please communicate with me, because I'm doing this for you, but the more I help you, the more you help me, right? Leave your comments. You're helping me, believe me, because I'm scared to move. I'm scared of the financial responsibility of it all, because just moving from here to there means we're giving up our job, we're giving up our house here, we're giving up our security, we're moving over like the Atlantic, right, with 5 kids, and we're going to start a big financial decision right when we get there. So I'm looking for your help, and that's why I'm offering you these videos with my information. And thank you for watching. Tomorrow we talk about, or in the next video, we talk about the negotiation phase and what not to listen to from your real estate agent. Thanks for watching.
It's from watching these simple videos that will have you on the right path in no time.